Hello everyone. I hope you can see me and hear me okay. Welcome back. We're in 2023, back from Lynx in Paris. I'm Stan Larocque, I'm the CEO and founder of Lynx, and once again, we are going to make this live session with some updates around the company and the product. And after, I can stay a little bit to answer some questions you might have. The last time I gave an update, I told you that I wouldn't make another update until we have devices coming out of the factory. And it arrived. So this is why we have this live update. And the devices are here. The first one arrived. They are extremely cool and better than what we could ever envision from a first run of a few hundred devices from the factory. So I'm extremely proud to present you the final Lynx on One. We had some very good surprises around the quality of the product itself, and we received them I think 2 or 3 days before CES. So in January, between the 5th and the 8th, there is the CES show, and we went there this year because we won the Innovation Award. So a lot of people were also waiting and curious to see the device, and we went to CES with our partner Ultraleap, the hand tracking company that we work with, and we love because the interface of the headset is just great. And we were at CES with them, and during 4 days we made 1,500 demos, which was the perfect time and place to just put the device into a lot of heads, and to have a lot of different kind of people from all around the world try the device with different size of head, hands, shapes of the body. So it was a great hardware event for us. It was great to test the device in the field before we can really test it in the field. And then 2 days after that, we were at the MIT Reality Hack. So it was in Boston, MIT, and we only had like 6 devices because I was only there with 2 colleagues. And this event was the perfect software event. So after we tested, we did a test run of the device at CES. We did like a software test run of the SDK and stuff like that at MIT. And so those 2 events in January gave us, I think, enormous feedback to me and the team here to see what we had to modify and improve on the next run. Because right now we are kind of this advanced DVT phase of the units, which is very, very close to mass production in consumer electronics manufacturing. And we have like 1 or 2 passes where we can change things like the tooling of the mechanical pieces and stuff like that. And those 2 events combined together with all the demos we made and the feedback of everyone really was great on every point. And it also explained why we delay a little bit the distribution of the devices to backers. And I will dive it into a moment about that. Just so you know, the next batch of devices will compare to what people saw at CES or at MIT or at the office. We will have around 50 smallish improvements, like mechanical, just on the mechanical side of things, 50 mechanical improvements between the devices of the first batch and the second batch. So for the one we are going to produce en masse, like the batches of 1,000 devices, there won't be any more changes, and I advise people to wait for these devices because they will run absolutely perfectly and very smoothly. Although now we can ship these to developers, but they have one small mechanical defect that is that people at MIT especially saw, is that when you tighten the headband all the way on your head and it creates a tension in the headband, there is a possibility that you cannot untighten it, and the mechanism will be blocked, and it will it requires a screwdriver, and it's not right for users who want to start making demonstrations to customers or to other users. I think it's good enough for developers, so this is why we're shipping to very close partners and like a few developers, like for example the Volvic team, some of big app developers that we're reaching out to. That some of them are backers as well, but for users, I don't think we can ship them like this now. But we are working on a fix with the mechanical fix on the back mechanism, and I expect that in 2-3 weeks we should be able to send a bit more devices. But again, it's a ramp up. It takes time. It's frustrating for me to have people call me and say, "Oh, we cannot untighten the headband." It's kind of painful because everything else so far is working incredibly well with the device. All the mechanical components, the flip up, even the headband in itself, you can tighten and untighten. There is just one condition where it will break, and there is some non-null percentage that it will happen. There is also the iRelief mechanism here with the button at the top that works great. The IPD adjustment works very well, and we made a lot of progress on the image quality. One of the things that people will appreciate, and I think Bradley made a video very recently after CES when he tried the lens for the first time, is that the image is actually very good, and we keep improving that on the software, on the software distortion, and I have to say I'm myself quite amazed. I know Carl Kutag, for some of you that don't know him, he writes a blog, and once he wrote about Lynx with by analyzing one of the videos we put on YouTube, and with the distortion of our lens that was a bit visible, and it was like a year and a half ago. But now it should be much better, and I would say better than what you see through pancake lenses or hybrid frontal lenses. Something else is that we have 4 times the light output on your eye than compared to what you have, for example, on the Quest Pro or the latest HTC device, which is very cool. I'm very happy with the pads here. You can watch them. We tried. It's very cool. The battery is amazing. 3 hours now. We calibrated it with our manufacturer. And it's 2.5 hours in AR, 3.5 hours in VR. So the next batch of 300 devices should be there by the end of February. So between this batch and the one we have here that we're fixing on the back mechanism, it's a very good run for putting that out of the door to both developers and backers that cannot wait. So this is why we didn't really send a global email to all the backers and the community, because it's important for us to also hold back a little so we can make sure that the hardware and the software is right. And about the software, I have to talk a little bit about it. It's working great, as you could see with the thousands of demos we made at CES. AR, VR, hand tracking, 6DoF, everything is running in the headset very smoothly. We just still have issues on the application lifecycle, which means that when you quit an app and you get back to our launcher, with the new OpenXR runtime we have, sometimes it will not work and just display a black screen. There are a few and you have to reboot the headset. So there are a few things that are just not right for the user experience that also frustrate me. And we are working very closely with Qualcomm on that, so we can fix the runtime as that we're sharing with them. As the issue is not on the OpenXR standard, the issue is on the underlying loader and runtime that causes issues with Android. And as it's something new for us, it's and we're relying on the Qualcomm platform. We are debugging with them, and everything is not running 100% correctly. Like if you're a developer, you can develop and launch your app, and it will run. It's just, for a user, again, the flow is not just great for the moment. So this is also why we are a bit delayed by the software. But the team is working overnight here. I can look a little bit tired because also we are running everywhere, trying to. We're seeing the comments online. We're seeing the patience or impatience of everyone, and we agree on all fronts. But we're doing the very best. Also, we have a cool side projects and enhancements for Lynx R1 that are coming this year. I think the first one we can talk about are the controllers. So the controllers, they will come later this year, but there are now a few other products that will come for Lynx R1. You know that we try to bring something different to this market. We are not a big social media company. We are not selling you a black box. We don't play with your data in any way. We have no interest in that. It's not part of our business plan. And we are very open to what people will do with the device. So one of the key features that was asked during the MIT Reality Hack was, hey, can we access the frames? And I don't think it's possible on any headset or the major headsets out there. And it was not ready on our side at the MIT Reality Hack, so I'm sorry for the groups that wanted to use that. But one of the groups at MIT won an award, a category award with a Lynx, and we only had 6 of them, and Meta and HTC had 50 of them distributed to teams, but one team with a Lynx won a category. So the software, even if they couldn't access the frames, they did quite a very impressive stuff. But for the frames and the data in the headset, we are developing an Android service that you would be able to tap into to access not only the frames you need to do anything you want, but also the 6 pose information, the sensor information like the IMU or even the proximity sensor. And we are building this background Android service, and you can tap into, and it's like getting you the frames with a 0 copy in RAM, and it's very efficient. It will be a great way for you if you want to do WebRTC to send the frames to another application, or things like OpenCV. And one of the first things that we're going to plug to this service is Vuforia and engines like this to do more computer vision out of the box in Lynx. So that's the feature on the software that we'll bring, that we're also working on, apart from the lifecycle issues and the thing we are working on with Compal. There is another product that will come on the market for Lynx. Remember, a few weeks ago we distributed the 3D model of the headset. It's not a 3D model, it's like a representation in 3D of the headset. It's not like the exact CAD file. But we worked on and we are going to open source this accessory. So this accessory is something you will be able to put here on the headset and clip like this. So it's very tightly coupled with the front part of the headset, and all around you will be able to screw accessories like cameras or sensors in all directions on the front part of the headset. And that accessory, we are using it internally to plug new sensors for other stuff, but we think the community will like it because it's a great way, with us sharing this CAD file for you to 3D print accessories if you're working in research, for example, or if you have a very specific need on your device that we do not provide with Lynx. So that's, I think it's a great, this accessory, we'll sell it, but we'll also put the 3D model on our website. So you guys can also do like us and 3D print it and put it on your headset, and then create accessories and modify it if you need specific screws or stuff like that. One of the other accessories we're working on, and it's maybe a little bit longer term, like the controllers, but it will come this year anyway, is the eye tracking feature. So we, if for some of you that followed for a long time, we made a compromise on the eye tracking in our lens. So because we needed the cameras for the hand tracking, because and we had to, and putting the eye tracking at the time was too difficult for us, too complicated, too expensive. The price of the headset wouldn't make any sense, and we decided to make it an accessory. So it will be plugged on the USB here, and we're working with a partner that is doing eye tracking to have something that will be put around the lenses, so you guys can have eye tracking over USB with the Lynx R1, and it will probably be built in the next version. But at least with Lynx R1, if you need eye tracking for your application, you will be able to have that. And it will use the USB-C connection on the headset. So yeah, that's what's coming. That's what we are working on. You understand that we are in this very specific phase where it's interesting, even when you look at the market in a general way, where it's been a long time, sure, and now a lot of headsets, even the Apple One, are rumored to arrive this year with video pass-through, and it's going to be great for all of us, really. And I can't wait to see the comparison you guys make with Lynx R1 and other headsets. At CES, people tried the Quest Pro, the HTC Elite, and our headset, and there are early comparisons that tell us that we still did a good job. And I can't wait to deliver more of it. Just give us a few more days, weeks, so we can fix the mechanical part there, and maybe work a bit more on the software itself. It's going out to a few partners and developers, but just a few of them at the moment. And one of the things, when you look at Lynx as a company and the other headsets on the market, is we're still the only one in Europe. We're still our value proposition on the technical side of things is still very enticing and interesting, and the value proposition of the company on the business model and the data also makes a lot of sense. So we are seeing a lot of traction, and the demand for our device keep rising. So we're producing. We have a back orders of a few thousand devices. I would say between 5,000 and 6,000 devices right now, which is pretty high for the market, really. Apart from maybe Sony and Meta that are selling the headset with different business model, it's pretty high volume, especially for startups. So I'm still very confident about not only the product, but what we have in store for you in the future. And just so you know, I also have to tell you that not only we are busy with the product, but I'm also very busy with growing the company and making sure that the team here still have enough resources to work, and that we can hire more and more people and invest in software and create like grant programs for developers to build on the platform and to kickstart our ecosystem. And so for that, we have a few partners, like we're working with SideQuest, we're working with Ultraleap, we're working with all the right people in the industry, really, and that's great. But we need to grow also ourselves, and this is why I'm fundraising. So I'm conducting this raise. I hope it will be done by end of March, just so you know. But I think it's public information now that we are We are raising much more money than what we had for building Lynx R1, and surprisingly, now things are much better with investors because the product is actually on the table and the back orders are there, and as we start delivering and people are happy with the product, it's a whole new dynamic for Lynx. It's a whole new world for me as well to not have this weird conversation where you only have a prototype and you try to convince people that it's the right thing, because now people see it clearly, and things are much better. So I'm very happy to let you know that we are fundraising for a huge amount of money. Nothing like not in billions, but in dozens of millions. Just so you know, if you know anyone interested, this would be the perfect time. But we think it will not only help us to mature Lynx R1 on the market and help it grow and help the ecosystem grow, and also keep the pace we have on R&D for Lynx R2. And there are a few exciting projects internally we would like to conduct later this year with that. So yeah, stay tuned for this. It's a lot of news. It's really we are absolutely in the rush, but I wanted to take the time to get all this information out to you guys. I'm really thankful really for the feedback. I can tell you the feedback we had at CES was extremely positive. I cannot think of something negative that came out of that, but people usually are very happy at CES. They were very happy to try Lynx R1. Maybe they didn't want to tell us bad stuff, but so far I cannot think of something negative that came out of that. And MIT, it was the complaints were on the software, where of course everything is not yet definite, but as I told you, we're working on it. The survey for the Kickstarter backers, we will send it during the first week of February, so next week actually. So we can start registering you guys in our system. We built a full system to link the orders with the manufacturer, and so we can start the dispatch much easily. Right now it was just us on the phone or by email talking with people, and we only distributed a few dozens of headsets out to, and not all of them are even sent today. The next batch of 300 devices, because they will have the mechanical fixes and the device will be absolutely perfect. We're going to send between 10 and 20 of them to reviewers, to some friends we have in the community that will review the Lynx headsets. So I have a few contacts with them already, and I can't wait for that either. But yeah, that's what the next few weeks look like. I'll do, of course, another update later on, probably third week of February. I think we can set something for this time. It will be the right time. But yeah, that's about it for today. I will now take the questions because I talk way too much. All right. So I'll just scroll through your chat and look at the question. All right. Is Limbach the designer of the lens in the Lynx? Yes. Is there any concern with them being acquired? Yeah, that's a question we had a lot in January. So Limbach was acquired, I think completely now, and I'm very happy for Pablo and his team. It is not surprising that they were acquired by a company like Apple, because certainly they are one of the best optical designers in the planet for high performance VR optics, as our lens can prove it. So I'm glad we give them publicity with the product, and that they get acquired. In the process of their acquisition, we were informed at the right time as very close partners, and we have a very good relationship, and we made sure that we could exploit the license and the IP of this lens and the derivative, like if we need to change a little bit the design for coming versions, for example. So there is no risk, and we are no more dependent on them. We manufacture the lens ourselves. We have all the process. We built our own calibration process. So it's not an issue for us. It's not a concern. Opinion on what happened with MRTK? Good question. We saw the news lately that the HoloLens team was pretty much disbanded, at least on the software, and I'm pretty sure there is not a lot of people left on the hardware. It's very sad, of course, especially for all the people that worked on the HoloLens internally and externally of Microsoft all these years. Happily, MRTK3 was built on top of OpenXR, and people can keep running this piece of software in other headsets. And this is what we did with the Microsoft team. So we have a lot of people now coming to us from the HoloLens world that are switching to headsets like ours. So it's a bad thing for the industry. It's a good thing for us, and nothing was lost on the software because lately it was built on top of OpenXR. All right. I answered for the survey. Okay. Oh, you don't have a lot of questions tonight. So the partner of the eye tracking is not Tobii. So that's the only thing. I don't think I can share the name yet with externally, but it's a really great partner. It's a very good eye tracking company. That's the only thing I can say. I'll ask them if I can tell about our collaboration with more details and show you how it will look. It will come in February, but I cannot say the name publicly. And yes, one of them said Tobii is probably too expensive, and that is probably right. Okay. Why the Navy SEALs T-shirt? Because I just had it. I was just rock climbing before, and this is my sports outfit. If you open a branch in Lyon, I will probably apply. Thank you. We are not opening a branch in Lyon in France, but we keep hiring in Paris, and we will open an office in the US later this year, most probably in San Diego. So, yeah, you know. Any date prediction on the last Kickstarter backer delivery? I want all Kickstarter backers to have their headsets before May. That's the what we are discussing with the timeline with our manufacturer. I think it's absolutely doable. As we ramp up. Not only the Kickstarter backers, but also the pre-orders that we registered on our website. Can the Japanese backers get R1 approved by Japanese technical standard compliance? Yes, we are right now. So there are 30 devices that are still in Taiwan because they are passing certifications for all the countries we are selling the headset. India, US, Europe, Korea, and Japan. And Japan has very specific specification, especially for radio, like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and we're passing those certification. Will Lynx restock the case in their store? Not yet, but the casing, the packaging is really good. By the way, we for the packaging by itself is quite light because the headset in the packaging is actually in this position. So it's a very thin case, and later on we'll see if we work more on the travel case. And if we don't build a travel case, we'll reimburse people, of course. But there are only a few of them that order like probably between 10 and 20. Regarding the eye tracking, are you investigating the use of electromyogram-based eye tracking technique? We know about it, but we haven't tried. We don't have the time yet. But with both the eye tracking feature we'll bring later on this year, and also the plugin I show you, the mechanical piece, you can put more sensors and you have more fixation points on the headset to put your sensors on the front part of the headset. We will see if you need if more people need to have the headband information because they want to put sensors around it. We'll probably find a way to work it out. Can it be used for coding or working? I think it's like the Quest Pro. We want to say yes, but I would prefer to be extremely honest and say that it's not better than your monitor today, than a PC, laptop or desktop you have in front of you. I wouldn't say it would be used for that today. It certainly is something we're working on for later on, but with R1, we're not setting that as a working station. We're setting that as a VR headset that can do AR, or AR headset that can do VR with existing content, and it's already good enough for us. In the future, what's the priority for you? Get better headset specs or make it cheaper to buy? I don't want to answer that. It would give you too much information to the competition that is watching this video. Could it be possible to pick up the headset at Laval Virtual directly? Yes. So Laval Virtual is a show that is in France. It's one of the biggest AR VR show in Europe, and we'll have the biggest booth ever, I think, on this show. It's 138 square meters. It's in April, and by April we'll have a lot more demos and things to show, and this is why we'll have this big booth and a lot of headsets. So if you're a backer, let us know. We can bring your headset there if you want to pick it up. That would be cool. For a Lynx developer conference, any approximate date and or place? We're thinking about making one also with Qualcomm to have a conference together for developers later in the first half of the year, but probably around June, but nothing on the first quarter. Does it support standard OTG webcam in the OS directly? Yes, so if you have any UVC USB webcam, you can plug it in the headset and you can access it in your application. Yes, it's supported. You can plug a keyboard, you can plug a mouse. It will work. Have you tried the Lynx with any body trackers? Not yet. Will the eye tracking attachment be very expensive, and would you consider a discount for those who were part of your Kickstarter program? You're already asking for a discount, and I don't even know the price of that. I don't even know the price. It's again, I'm working personally to make our headset and our product as affordable as possible, and to even give out, for example, for the accessory to give the 3D model for people to 3D print it. But I don't have the price yet for the eye tracking feature. Can you plug an Ultralip Rigel in and have two at the same time? It's a weird question, but before, so I don't know if you remember, but in the development process of Lynx R1, at first we had only 4 cameras at the front, and we didn't have those bluish cameras that are used for hand tracking. And in the meantime, to work on hand tracking with Ultralip, we use the Rigol, which is an accessory that you can plug over USB. So it should work, but the two of them will not work at the same time. Absolutely not. You can ask them, but no, it's not going to work. What about VR face interface? It's one of the accessories that can be developed too once we finish this one. Do you think eye tracking attachment will be compatible with the next version of the headset? I think eye tracking will be. You won't need an accessory. Okay. So that was. I think that's it for tonight. It was 40 minutes of updates. I'm happy to share with you the latest. I try to post. I'm not very good with social media, but I try to post on Twitter and LinkedIn sometimes. I'm very. I really can't wait for the first experiences we're going to see from Lynx that were not built internally, and it's really coming. Again, thank you for your patience. I hope you understand why everything is as it is, and again, we're trying to take the best decisions for the product and the developers behind it that will benefit from the ecosystem we are building. As we're working very hard, there are so many topics that are addressed right now, so you should expect a lot of news from us in February as we'll deliver a lot, not only about the headsets deliveries, but also about the platform itself, about the store, about the SDK, all of that. We'll just vomit everything in February. We're just working very, very hard now, but it's all for the best, and it's absolutely worth it. When we have the feedback we had at CES and all that, we'll just keep pushing. I want to address some rumors as well. We are absolutely not in the process of getting acquired. It's not going to happen. Lynx is here to stay. We are building this European champion of mixed reality. It's going to be amazing. What can I say about the competition is that the competition is great. Some of them are playing catch up. I know a lot of them are watching what we're doing. It's great, but we're not stopping there. We're just focused. I think we're more closed on our vision than what people think. We have a very dedicated team. We try not to be influenced by the work of others or by the rumors, especially around Apple or Meta, because the scale and the business of those companies are just not aligned with our smallish company and the value proposition of the product. So don't worry, and I'm not worried, but it certainly is looking good for the future. I hope I will see you third week of February, and for some of you that will come to our office or that I will see on trade show, happy to give you a demo. Feel free to ask any questions. We have a lot of input from the external world. It's very hard to answer to everyone, but I try to answer as the best we can. And we're hiring more and more people to handle the support that will be needed once the devices are out. There are a few questions there. Will the hand tracking work if you hold the tool like a hammer? I will get back to this question by the end of February. We're working on some very interesting things with Ultralip, but I cannot give any specifics yet. But yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching, and I will get back to work and work on your headsets. Thank you very much. Bye.